and welcome Purple Rain Royalty and the rest of the community to a review show on a quite somber Saturday, Easter Saturday morning. I've got my morning coffee. It says number one legend to the the girls trying to perk me up after a shocking, groundbreaking 23-year statistically poor game that we watched last night. Aaron, how are you, my man?
Yeah, not great. Got up. Never watch a replay like that. Never. Always avoid it. But doing these podcasts, I want to get up and try and see what we're going to talk about. So I've got up. I've put myself through it again, and wasn't any more fun the second time. Let's be honest.
I actually I would think that the second time would be even harder to watch. Anyway, before we get into too much of that, you can see my Easter Sad Day shirt. Hopefully, you'll love the and appreciate the $5 wasn't it? $5 from Kmart shirt. Yeah, we'll promote Kmart just to have a bit of a laugh, Aaron. I want to give a couple of things to shout out, and the first one is don't forget it's the last day for our
Got
jersey
it.
giveaway. It has got a monstrous amount of um, replies, comments. It's going to be a big draw, so everyone's going to have a pretty big chance to get in there and and win the captain's jersey. All you need to do is follow and like our page. Get on the comments, tag as many people as you can. One tag equals one entry. Aaron, I think it's sitting at about 700 comments. I really would like. I'm tempted to get in there and just start tagging everyone again,
I
just
already
to get
seen
it
you
up
do
to
that.
over or just to get it up and over. I want to get over 1,000 just to make you do some work. I know you got a pretty cruisy life.
Yeah, that's it. No, I do have a fair job on my hands tomorrow, I reckon, trying to count them up, but we'll get it done. It shouldn't be too bad.
She closes at 11:50 tonight, doesn't it? So we sorry, I'm just talking to my background admin, business support, content creator. What else can we call her? Editor, everything. Oh, she's just here doing a little bit of a recording. 11:50 tonight for the close of that jersey giveaway, and I just want to give us a special extra shout out to our sponsor Con from Freedom Finance, and got a little spiel. So tough nights happen, don't they, Aaron? One of them happened last night, but smart plays off the field can still be a win. After the clash between the Storm and the Penrith Panthers, fans know how quickly momentum can swing. The same goes for your finances. That's where Con, our man from Freedom Finance, comes in. And whether you're looking to refinance, buy your first home, or get ahead financially, having the right game plan makes all the difference. Don't wait until you're on the back foot. Reach out to Con today and get your finances moving in the right direction, because just like footy, preparation wins games. 23 years of a record being broken where we have not given up and conceded 50. Your mortgage is just the same. Don't wait around. Get better interest rates. Contact details will, I don't know if it's up, it's down or up. Either way, Con's number will be in the podcast in the bio. Get onto it. Round 5 versus the Panthers. Let's rip it off. Let's rip the band-aid off. 50-10. Your first initial thoughts before I go into a whole heap of statistics that we have put together to talk about.
First thoughts were, with a little attitude adjustment in that game, I think we come out a lot closer. So I think even though we lost by 40 points, I think 40 points was a bit of a, it's a bit of, I don't think we should have lost by 40 points. Even with the team we put out there, I think we could have been, 2 or 3 tries better off if we just have a small attitude adjustment. So although it was 40, I would have liked to have seen that be, 18 max, basically.
I would like to have not lost by 40 points. I agree. I'm absolutely with you, mate. My initial thoughts are I've not seen us lose like that before. Um, so I'm incredibly emotional. It's a tough pill to swallow. It sucks. I've listened to the background noise of people who have finally been able to say some things and, put us on a list and all sorts of bits and pieces that they've never been able to do for 23 years. I've had all types of messages come through my DMs, some from some of our faithful royalty crew, some from just people who who know that I'm a Storm fan and just want to be a douchebag and have a go, which they, well, are full in their rights to. I've never messaged anyone and had a go at anyone for a result or you know in terms of the word have a go at somebody. I don't mean like, get nasty or anything, but I've never gone into someone's comments or particularly targeted someone and made fun of a result or anything like that. I've reveled in it because as a Storm fan, I've been able to do it for so bloody long. We've been in grand finals, we've won many grand finals, we've lost lots of grand finals, but at least we've been there, and our year is always successful. And you know, I get to I get to have an enjoyable September into October and things because I get to watch my team and do that sort of stuff. And we've been the back end. We've put these teams on the back end of drubbings. We've been spoken about and put teams on the list. Like, we've put Parramatta on the list recordly in the first round of the last 2 years. It's just simple things like that me as a Storm fan's been able to revel, and I'm letting people have their say. So for the first time in ever, they can marvel in the fact that we had a shocker in terms of the score and the results. But here's some stats, Aaron, that I'll segue into that are important that we are able to, and this is kind of this talks about the success that we've been able to as Storm fans deal with for a long, 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 long time. So for the first time in 23 years, so 2003, that's an exactly 581 games of NRL, the Storm have conceded a 50 piece. That's the first time. It's our biggest loss since 2008's. It's our biggest loss since a 40-0 in 2008. So what's that? My maths is off. 18 years? It's 18 years. It's our biggest halftime defeat since the 2018 grand final, where we were behind at half. That's our worst halftime deficit. So for 8 years there. No team has conceded 50 points though and won a premiership. So that's an interesting statement, and we'll talk a little bit more about that. They're just some of the big game like end of game results to talk about. Aaron, I've got a lot of other stats I want to go through, but is there anything initially that you want to talk about or touch on from that?
Yeah, I mean, all those stats are pretty damning. It shows it was a pretty bad performance there. Um, there's been a lot of excuses around that, we're undermanned, we're under personnel, and we're playing against Penrith, who are red hot form. They've put some stats on themselves, which is first time going through 5 rounds, winning 20 plus this year, which is incredible. They've come up against 5 teams and they've won 20 plus 5 in a row. So as much as that they are good, last night isn't us. That's not acceptable. And dropping 40 points or conceding 50 points, losing by 40 is it's not good enough. So I don't know how we fix it, but
isn't it good that we can say it's not acceptable for the Storm when there are other teams out there that have been doing this for years? So we can literally say and we can take a positive light that this is not us. This is not the way to go. We've lost 3 in a row now, but the first 2 losses we were in front by a fair margin, and then had a really poor a really poor period, and lost the game. This game was just not what the history of Storm is like, and we can talk about that as a positive. And honestly, royalty fans, that's the only shining light to take out of this, is that this is just not us. All right, let's keep going. So Penrith have actually are groundbreaking. I think I think I heard a statistic or something like that this first 5 games that Penrith have done is the biggest 5 games in recent history for a team. Currently, and obviously there's still 2 days to go. It's Saturday morning. Penrith have a 150 plus point differential. So currently, right now, no team has actually even scored 150 points. Yet they've got it as a differential. It's just stupid. That's just a dumb statistic that just shows the gap between what Panthers are to the rest of the field. Some key game stats was that there were 9 tries Panthers allowed to 8 players. The Storm allowed to 8 players, which was just bonkers. I can't remember a game I've seen like that. Whereas the Storm only had 2. 88% completion rate for the Panthers. Storm had a 94% completion rate. It's definitely something that people are sitting there using as a statistic to say that we played pretty well. I think that statistic sort of kind of lies a little bit.
I don't think playing pretty well. I don't think playing pretty well is the way that I meant to say it before. I think it just shows that we didn't turn the ball over, and we didn't, it wasn't those ball handling issues that gave Penrith their chance. We tried to do the right thing and respect the footy, and we did. I think we only, is it two errors or 2 incomplete sets for the whole game? Is that the stat? I can't. I think it was.
I'm pretty sure you're very close if you're not correct. I can have a look while you're talking.
Definitely not saying we played pretty well, because there's 2 sides to every game, and that defensive attitude in that first half. I think Penrith scored 5 tries all down our right edge. Funny enough, every other team saying how a weak left edge, and we're going to attack the left, and then Penrith come out and they just flip the script and they pump us down the other edge. So they got a lot of attack down that edge. Casey McLean gave us nightmares all night. Jenkins, he's playing good footy at the moment. He's hard to stop. So I don't think we played
errors.
well. But,
we had 5 errors.
Incomplete sets though? 2? Maybe 3.
Oh, when you want to try and find it, it doesn't come up. Infringements or
keep going, because I should be able to find it here. Completion rate.
Completion rate was 94%, but I can't. It doesn't. I'm not seeing out of how many in the team stats on NRL.com.
Yeah, 34 out of 36 for the Storm, and 38 out of 44 for Penrith. So yeah, we only had 2 incomplete sets.
Yeah. All right, so then Panthers had a 318 kick return statistic, whereas the Storm only had 86. Now, we said that this was going to be a really important point. It was we talked about it in our review show, in our preview show, and we've also put it up as some of our blueprint, is that we know that Cleary was going to kick it deep, kick us into the corners, and he did. 100% he did. And we needed better effort from our wingers to get the ball out of that deep corner. Effort was questioned, but Penrith just absolutely, their kick chase last night was just phenomenal. I'll give you one example. There was the kick chase on Sewer. Was it early? Whenever it was, but they kicked it deep. Sewer gets the ball. Sewer starts to run. He looks dangerous east-west, but how many? Do you know how many Panthers players were there chasing him down and blocked that sideline?
Hmm.
Seven. There were seven, dude. And there was not one Storm player in that line or anywhere near Sewer within that seven. Like that they were just working their backside off last night.
Yeah, they
Panthers,
kicked really.
oh, good.
Go. I'll just jump in there. They kicked really well, and it wasn't just Cleary. I thought Freddie Lussick had a few really
Freddie
nice
Lussick
kicks in
had
behind the
three really
line.
good
I
kicks.
didn't.
Yep.
Yeah, I didn't expect that. Like, well, I'm not bagging him, but I didn't expect him to put in three really nice kicks like that. Edwards had a couple of nice kicks, and every single one of them for the whole 80 minutes, whether they're up by one try or at the end they're up by 8 tries. Every single one of them, they're all down there. They're all up in our face, and they're all pinning us on our line. So they've got a relentless style there that really gasses teams, and their fitness and their ability to do that for 80 minutes is it's absolutely scary, to be honest.
In round five. Panthers 10 line breaks, Storm 2 line breaks. Hang on 1 minute, I'm just going to keep going there. Panthers had 34 tackle breaks. Panthers had 1,958 run meters. Storm had 1,081 run meters to finish the game. And I want to just quickly tell you one part before you jump in here, Aaron, because I know you. I want to talk about our middles. With 10 minutes to go, so in 70 minutes of football, 10 minutes to go, there was one player that had more than 100 metres. One. Who was that?
Fullback.
Sewer, our fullback. We ended the game with three players, Sewer, Warbrick, and Munster, and they only just got over, the other two only just got over the 100 metres. Aaron, do you want to touch on those statistics and what sign that shows?
Look, the line breaks and the tackle breaks. To me, that just shows that defensively our attitude isn't there because mate, they're big numbers. I know they'll throw on the ball well, but for us to concede that many line breaks and that many tackle breaks is very concerning. And I'm sure Bellamy's going to be dirty on a lot of that. So that is concerning. And then the other one there was what was the run meters total. So it was 1958 to 1184. Now, mate, our forwards, as much as a few of them defended well in the middle, I thought defensively they tried and they really tried to slow them down. But in attack, it doesn't. No one is bending the line. No one. I think we got a couple of quick play balls for the game, and we scored off one. Joe Chan got one, and we're inside our 20, and we scored with Sewer on the outside there. But other than that, Penrith get two in the tackle. They meet solidly. We don't get any post-contact meters. We don't get up. We don't get a quick play of the ball. And then Harry's basically nullified because he can't get out. I'm not sure what we do with the forward pack at the moment, but I'd be making some changes. I'd be potentially starting Steph off the bench, using him as a weapon, trying to just control the middle for the first little part of the game and see if we can get some impact off the bench because it's just not happening at the moment.
I'll give you some things that are alarming. So we had 19 tackle breaks for the game. Penrith are very good in defensively, but 19 tackle breaks is just that's pathetic. Out of all of our guys that should be getting tackle breaks, we had two from Stefano, we had two from Chan, we had three from Liero. That's it for our middles. We had Warbrick who broke two tackles for that, and they were early on that big run that he had. And then, and that's it. Line breaks for the game. We had how many? Two. One was Sewers, and the other one was Mania's. Statistically, runs. Warbrick has 14 runs. Meany has 10. Well, I'm not worried about Meany, sorry. STB has 11 runs. Munster has 14 runs. Hughes has 12. Now here's where it gets worse. Stefano, your big prop, has 11. King, your other prop, has 11. Chan gets 8. McDonald has 8. Liero has 9. Mawali comes on for 18 minutes, gets 5. Hetherington comes on for 21 minutes, gets 3, which I'm not saying that's negative. What I'm saying is that that's like in such a small amount of time, they get 8 runs combined is just like it's really, really, really alarming, Aaron.
Yeah, no, for sure. That's, I mean, we want those guys getting 15, 16, 17, 20 runs. If you look on the flip side, you've got, I mean, Yo took 16, Smith took 15. Um, I suppose Moses only had 12. So, I mean, I just, it's just what we're doing with those runs. We just seem to be just running into the line and meeting the line, not bursting through it. We're not getting our hands free. There's no second phase play for us. It's just a little bit bland at the moment.
Yeah, so Stefano had 2 offloads. Those they were in the same set, I think, if I remember rightly. Josh King had 1 offload, and I'm pretty sure that was in that same set. If it was not, it was pretty close to it. And Liero had two offloads himself. That was all we were able to do for that in this game. um, and I even wrote in the notes like that set that Stefano did with the offloads. I was like, oh, it's great to see Stefano, getting in the line, turning his back and doing offloads. And then that was kind of it. The other thing I want to talk about is that within our middles and also our entire team, we had no one get above 47 meters in post-contact meters. Now that's alarming because post-contact meters is literally just as soon as you are with the way that the NRL.com do their statistics for that. Post-contact meters is just from the first touch. So even if they just get a hand on you, it's just it's from that first touch, which means that some of your bigs will get 3-4 extra meters just with someone in the tackle as you're driving your legs hard and getting that extra meters. A sewer breaking the line gets touched, breaks a tackle kind of thing. He had 6 tackle breaks last night. I really like Sewer's game. He tried his ass off. I'm very concerned. It's now been 3 weeks. Aaron, I know you've particularly mentioned about our middles and what our middles need to do. The thing is, we've got middles in our list that are healthy, that are not even getting opportunities yet. This is what we are watching and living with.
And then next week we come up against the Warriors, whose middle has been fantastic. Jackson Ford's on a heater, and James Fisher-Harris is doing things that he didn't even used to do at Penrith. So next week's not going to be any easier. Then we're staring down the barrel of potentially 4 losses. So how do you fire that middle up, and what do you do to change the attitude or Bellamy talked about the willingness in contact, and last night Penrith hit hard. Their initial contact defensively and offensively is big. They look to bust through the line, and then they look to stop attacking runs on the spot. So how can we get that killer in our game? What do we got to do? Who do we have to move around or potentially rotate to put a fire in their belly? Because it has to happen.
Well, I'm going to reiterate something and steal your words. I tell you what I can do. I'm going to put Varlepu on, and I don't care how slow that guy is or what it is. Get that big body in the middle. Play Moali and Hetherington more than 21 minutes, and play it in when the game is important, not in the game, not when the game is dead and buried, and we're 32-40 nil down, 32-6 or 40-10 or 46 down or whatever it was when those 2 boys came on. That's what you got to do. Like Bellamy put the comment in after the game about reserve grade footy is there, and I'm happy to make the changes. I hope that actually is something he does, and it's not just a threat, and he actually makes changes because there's a little bit of safeness in some of our guys, and the way that they've played recently shows that. I think a cracker needs to put under him to say, hey, your spot's on the line. One thing about Penrith, and yes, they've got some seriously, seriously good talent, but Ivan Cleary has made changes. Alamotti has had to earn his stripes. Jenkins has had to earn his stripes. Casey McLean has had to earn his stripes. Blaze Talangi has had to earn his spot. All because he's shown that he's happy to go through and drop you or not play you for someone else if you're not in form. We have the talent in the background to be able to do things, and we have some of these guys actually playing well. You got to be able to make that. You've got to be able to make those hard decisions, and I really hope that that's not just words or a threat. That's Bellamy, putting our cracker in underneath these guys.
Yeah, I got a message this morning, just in another Storm chat, speaking with Nathan, and Nathan he kind of agrees. He thinks there should be some big changes, and it's a hard one because like as you said, every 2 points is important, and you probably want to get those reps with the team that you think will be your best team at the end of the year, but. But if you keep playing the way you are and you're not reacting to the instructions from the coach and you're not actually fixing what you fucked up the week before, it, maybe that is the rocket that people need. Have a week in reserve grade. Think about what we need you to do and come back inspired or determined to fix or to be better. So I find it hard to go and drop players that are definitely in our best 17. But if that's what it takes, maybe that's what it takes. I mean, I don't want to jump at shadows. We lost to Penrith. We didn't lose to a shit side by any means, but
Well, we did actually. We lost to the Cowboys and gave up a bad lead against the Broncos the week before that. So we
I put
have
those
lost to
two
poor
losses
teams.
in. But I still put those two losses in a way different category to this one. This like last week and the week before, we played good footy and we literally went to sleep for patches of the game. This game, we were just outclassed all game. There was just like a feeling from the kickoff that they wanted it more, and our attitude just wasn't. I mean, we were trying, but we just didn't look like we were in the match.
With 10 minutes, Panthers don't make an error till Toto drops the ball with 4 minutes to go.
Yeah.
Sewer off the back of a broken set, chip and chases. Edwards gets it. They get up the field. McLean scores a try and makes our defence just look poor. And I've picked that example because with a couple of minutes to go, Sewer, in desperation, being down so far, tries to make a play off a broken set, does the chip and chase. The problem with that chip and chase is that's literally like an error for an error forced for Penrith. Edwards gets the ball on the 40-metre line, and Casey McLean literally turns our defence into cones. That's an example of basically the way this game was set. Aaron, I thought Sewer, he had one. There was probably one defensive one where concern that I was like, yep, okay, so I get what Sewer's done there. That's the Sewer I kind of know, or I expect something like that at some point in the time. But I thought Sewer was really good and tried for the best that he could with the limited service that he got, where he got the ball on the run, where he was able to get upfield, or there was momentum because we just couldn't get any meters on our sets. Is there anything you can pinpoint or talk about with what McLean did and how him and Jenkins were able to just make our defense look like traffic cones?
Not really. I think both of them are really fast. I don't want to single out Mania, but I think a couple of times there they got on the outside of Mania just a little bit, and they only need a little bit of space. They're that good that if you give them just that little bit of space, they work well together. And that one you're talking about at the end there, we missed two tackles on that one. Husey missed one, Sewer missed one. They run down, they score. And the other one where Jenkins scored in the middle. Now, mate, I wrote here that I thought it was lucky. I thought there was a couple of dubious passes in there. I mean, I'm not going to sit here and say that try cost us, but there was a couple of passes that were pretty flat on that one. But they run that fast and they make you look silly, and the umpire just lets it go because they're playing such good footy. So I don't know. I don't know what happened on that edge last night. I think we were just outclassed there, to be honest. They're a good side.
Yeah, they are. Then we go to the sheds. After that, we come out first 3 minutes. Edwards off the back of a broken play, a broken Panthers set for one of the few that happened. He just kicks the ball and puts it on top of STB's head. Brian Toto, who is not renowned for having a high ball or not renowned for going up, literally goes up, takes the ball in front of in a contest off STB and walks in for a try. And I think I saw when I saw that, I just went, oh, this is bad. This is bad. This is really bad.
Yeah, not only were they playing good footy, they were also getting a bit of the rub of the green, you know, like Harry Grant gets a little hand in there on that ball before they offload it. I thought it probably was a knock on. Probably should have been stopped, but that's a 50-50 call. So not whinging, that happens. But then they get that little bit of broken play and Edwards kicks that ball up to the corner. Now, STB just looks down on confidence at the moment. He doesn't attack it like he should, and Toto comes up with a great catch, and it's a bloody good try, but I don't think that happens. 9 nights out of 10 that doesn't happen. So, yeah, that hurt that one basically.
Yeah, and that was that dagger that and instantly from there I just said, God, I hope we lock in for the rest of this game because I just don't want to get onto that 50-point list that people keep talking about. And unfortunately, I think it was 22 minutes to go. We were 24 minutes, somewhere around there. It was 32-6, and I just turned to my wife and I just went, I kind of want to go to bed. I just don't want to see this. I don't want to make this a 50-point game. And unfortunately, it was just all downhill from there. I've got a few different bits and pieces I want to talk about, but I particularly want to talk about Bellamy's comments in the post game. And he said one thing that he said was the disappointing thing for me was our defense. You don't have to be a brain surgeon to be a good defender. You just need to work hard and be determined. What do you think that actually means?
It's that same what I was talking about before. It's just a bit of an attitude shift. Like, um, we kind of touched on it before, but there's 3 tries I think scored off a bit of broken play, like where it's either a late offload or a second phase or a ball hits the ground. There's 3 tries there where Penrith just literally they don't go to sleep, and they if there's a chance there, they capitalise on it, and they did. And Storm, that one where Jenks and Casey McLean ran down the wing. If you go back and watch it, Kingy's coming across in cover defence. Now, he's just moseying along from the middle. He's coming out there to make that tackle. Now, every day of the week, he should have made a tackle there, but because he was just jogging over there and he wasn't sprinting over there, they get a little on the outside and then they find each other 1-2 and they score. Just little things like that where there's the 1% effort. We just didn't have it last night. So it's fine tuning your game to be always on the ball, and we've shown in the last 3 games that there's parts of our game, or last night a lot of our game, that we're just not dialed in 100%. So I think that's what he means, and it's not the Storm way to do that. For years and years and years, we've prided ourselves on playing 27 rounds at the top of our game. That's what we've built this culture on, and it's Bellamy's concerned that that's not happening. So that's probably
The next comment he made was that was picked up, and that I've rewatched that post game conference, is we completed our sets, but somehow our contact tonight was poor at best, and that's the disappointing thing for me. I'll also take it further in the Fox commentary after in talking about that. Cronk gave that a really big sort of spray and was one of the big points that he made, as well as Brafe did, and I think it was Ennis as well. Aaron, do you want to touch on that at all? Do you want to talk about that? What does that mean? And I guess
it
we
was
did
evident.
talk about this a little bit about our middles before, but yeah.
No, look, it was evident. They were a brick wall. Yeah, you run into them, they get you to ground, and they get on top of it. So like I thought they really were much better on that front. So I don't think Cronk is necessarily trying to kick the boots into the Storm there. I think he's just making a very valid point. It looked like when Panthers hit our line, we struggled. We get two or three in the tackle. Then once we've got three in the tackle, they shift the ball fast and they get on the move. Whereas we go the other way and we just run into a brick wall and we stop on our tracks. We don't make any post-contact meters. We don't get downfield. And it was like boys versus men in that contact battle. So I don't think the commentary said anything wrong there. I don't think they're trying to kick the Storm and try and make something that didn't happen. I seen it happen too. It did look like that.
Um, before I end the game chat, I want to talk about this. A lot of chat about Klein and his refereeing. Now, I'll make this really clear in terms of my own opinion. And Klein didn't lose the game for us. He didn't cost us the game. We got absolutely outclassed and looked like a reserve grade footy team. But there was some very dubious calls that Klein gave that continues the narrative of his dad played for Panthers. Apparently he's a Panthers member and he's refereeing games. There was a comment in our chats, in our stat or in our posts that they call him Killer Klein as he controls the game with some really bad calls. Now, again, I know where there was some bad plays for us and we made mistakes and we were poor. But when you're not only when you're playing like that and you get some terrible calls that just don't make sense, forward passes, play in the rucks, we were giving six agains away, yet Panthers were doing probably a lot worse and weren't getting called for it. There was that. There was the Martin try that Munster was calling for the knock on. He calls it a strip, I think. I know that Grant wanted to do you could see Grant looking for the challenge, but Klein lets the quick play of the ball, which just blows my mind with that quick play because 99.9 times out of 100, that's actually slowed down by refs, yet he let that one go. There's just some really confusing things that Klein does that continues this narrative of some really poor reffing. And I sort of said it in our preview. I wasn't really happy about the fact that Klein was reffing this game. I'm never happy when Klein refs a round game. I love Klein in Origin, love him. But I really don't like him in NRL games, particularly when he's reffing Penrith Panthers.
Yeah, like I definitely thought that Martin one. Like I know they didn't score off the next play, and I know there was no actual stop in play there because he allowed the quick tap. But maybe on a situation like that, the bunker should be able to go back two plays and have a look at it because whether there was a strip there or not, I don't think there was. I thought he dropped it first into Munster, and then the ball got dropped. But because we don't get a chance to look at it, they score two or three plays down the field. It just gets swept under the rug. So maybe they need to say, well, if that's set, if like after a quick tap, that a try is scored, maybe you can look back a couple there because I don't know if that one goes the other way, but I didn't like that call. I thought definitely there was a couple of forward passes down that wing. Casey and Jenks. I thought there was two that they scored tries on. The last try of the game, when Jenks caught that short kickoff. I thought live that it didn't cross the plane, but I went back and watched it. That's dead set 50-50 line ball, so I'm not going to sook about that one. That's just the rub of the green not going your way. That's so close to not breaking the line, but so close to breaking it. So maybe.
I think the commentator even said because he left well behind the 10 metre, they generally just let that be.
I don't think that's the rule though. The rule is the ball has to break the line, and as I said, I went back and watched it because I wanted to see for myself. Last night I was like, no way that broke the plane. But this morning when I watched it, I can accept it. It's on the line for sure.
All right. Is there anything else you want to touch on in the game?
Um, no, I don't think so. I think, the one thing that I did like about the game is two times we got down into our end where we had a chance to attack. Both times we looked good. They were two nice plays that we scored on. So I know that's only a little small piece and something very small to take away. But like, if we get ourselves in good position, we can find a way through Penrith's line. So if we can do that, I mean, um, it's a small positive. The thing is, we've got to get there, you know what I mean? And last night we did not get there. We played a lot of footy in the backfield and Penrith grinded us out of the game. So that's a small positive.
Absolutely agree with you, man. All right, 3, 2, 1. I know you were
Yeah.
very excited about this one, Aaron. So let's go 3, 2, 1.
Okay, I hate giving votes for games like that. So I'm going to give three just for effort. I'm just going to purely pick effort. I'm not going to worry about, um, who played the best or who. I just going to put it as effort. And I thought my three goes to Mania. I thought out on an edge. Like, I know they scored 5 tries down that edge, but I thought he worked hard, and I think he's a decent player. And like, for someone to come in green and play like that and make a few big tackles, I'll give him my 3 votes. I thought Trent really defended well in the middle, and just effort alone in the middle, I thought he played well. And then my one, I give to Warbrick. He kept coming in looking for work. He's trying his hardest to help the forwards, and at least he took, lots of carries and had a crack. So just three on effort alone. Now I know a lot of people might not agree with those three, but in games like that, you need someone to be showing effort, and those three boys definitely did.
So 3, Mania for you. 2 was
Trent,
Trent, and 1 was Warbrick.
Warbrick.
Okay. Interesting. How good's everyone's different opinions? I love it. Mine, I'm going 3, Sewer. I just The guy tried his absolute backside off. He led us in meters gained, and most of those were not off kick chases because, as you can see, we only had 80. Off kick return because, as you know, we only had 80 kick return meters. So most of that was just him in sets, running tackle. He had our most tackle breaks with 6. He was the only one that literally looked dangerous for the entire game in attack. He just couldn't get anywhere because we were never able to get any momentum. And how does Sewer, and one of the things with Sewer and what he would thrive off is just momentum off the middles, and then he can run east-west like he does with his quick left and right foot side steps. And he scored a try. So I've given, to me, I thought that was a very clear 3. 2, I've gone Warbrick, and I'll sentiment exactly what you have said there about him, so I won't go too much further in that, but I just thought he tried hard offensively, defensively. Look, that right edge looked poor, and they were made to look poor, but when your middles don't defend the way that the middles needed to, it's very hard to defend the edges like that when you've got 2 just superstars. So I thought Warbrick was that, which then leads into my number 1, which was Mania, or my 1 vote, which was Mania. Again, I agree with you. Like that was a nice try that he got early. I didn't mind him defensively. He tried his backside off, like you said. But again, like it's exactly the same with Warbrick, is that when you allow the middle to do what they were able to do and just monstrous, it's very hard to defend the edges. So they were my 3, 2, 1s. Let's go into our statement of what grinds my gears. You really want to know what grinds my gears? Well, I know everyone loves this segment, Aaron. Have you heard much about it?
Yeah, look, there's a few people are getting on board, and the best thing about this segment is people can just vent and they can say what pisses them off, and we can agree or we can disagree, but everyone gets to just blow some steam off. The best one I read today was getting 50 points put on you. Now, I'm sure everyone in the Storm family and everyone who follows the Storm can agree. That grinds my gears.
Aaron, do you want to start us off with what's grinding your own gears?
What's grinding my own gears? What's grinding my own gears is someone commented as well. It's the hate on Trent. Like, give him a break. Like I know a couple of years ago he was hot head, too many penalties and whatever. But like he's so important to this team. It's like people are holding a grudge for so long about their initial thoughts on Trent that there's people out there that still want to drop him. Like, what? Go on. Who are you going to put there that's going to do a better job than Trent? Like, that blows my mind. Anyway, that grinds my gears.
It doesn't grind my gears because I absolutely understand why people don't like Trent. The thing is, this is one of those things where the minority and minor mistakes far outweighs the major mistakes and the majority of people, because the majority of people love or understand what Trent brings. The minority are very loud speakers and pick up on some of the really silly things that he's done in his time, but forget what he did, in every part of the game before that. Yeah, he's had some dumb mistakes, a couple of poor things that have happened that have cost us games in the past, and that type of stuff. But it doesn't grind my gears. But I totally understand how you're coming, and I agree with you totally. Is that he is by far our best lock. He's one of the better locks in the competition. It's just that we are very, very, very harsh on him.
He's one of those players that's very very vanilla. You don't get the highlight. He's not really that link man. Like he can pass, but he's not that. He's not that He doesn't break the line, but he really sets up our systems. And if he plays well and he does what he does in the middle, it lets everyone else do their job. So like, I get it. He's not your Cam Murray. He's not your Isaiah Yeo. He's not one of those one you're out there watching to break the game open. But if he plays his game well, we play well. So that's why, I don't know, I'm a big Trent fan, and I think he's come a long way in the last 2 years. And yeah, that's my take on it.
There you go. My grind my gears is something that you actually stole from me, and you wrote it in our admins chat. So I'm going to put it up here, and I'm going to talk about it, and then I guess you can then come through it. But what grinds my gears is the inconsistency on letting team or getting and making teams get back to the 10. The amount of times that the cameras pan out and you can watch the 10, and they are so far in front of where the ref is sitting at the 10. It blows my mind and it pisses me off. And yet then there's the random one that's called that you're just like, what? Like, why would you call that one but not call it at other times? So I want to touch on that one, but then I'm also going to touch on the inconsistency again of the referees, and it just grinds my fucking gears, is this play of the ball roll. So Stefano got called for that roll on the play of the ball on the goal line, and I get it, like 100%. That's a turnover. It's an error. But then the Panthers go through their next set, and 3 of the 5 that they do not put their foot on the ball. So immediately in the set after, you don't call it. You hadn't called it all game. There'd be multiple examples. Yet you called the one on Stefano. So what grinds my freaking gears is not being able to adjudicate to the rules of the game and then randomly calling it when you feel like it, when it's in the game moment. It's in your game chat in your head as a referee of when you feel like calling it. Just fucking pisses me off, Aaron. I'm sorry to swear twice, but I don't like to swear on podcasts, but that just pisses me off.
I think this segment we can swear, can't we? That's what this segment's about.
I'll just make sure I click this is not for 18 for kids in the YouTube comments.
That's Steph one. Like, he did step over the ball, and I mean the rule says as long as you attempt to make a strike at the ball, like it's not, you don't actually have to touch the ball. Like the actual rule is as long as you attempt to make a strike at the ball, it should be okay. Now, Steph's foot has a little wobble there. I went back and watched it again as well. He has a little wobble there, but like whatever, I can cop that. But as you said, if we go back and we watch that game, I'll probably find 10. Like if I'm legitimately just looking for that, I'll probably find 10 where the same little foot wobble happens and nothing gets called. And this one's on our line in it. It's just like, piss off, Ashley Klein. Put your whistle away and fucking just let the game go. But yeah, I'm with you. It's so frustrating.
Do you have any from Storm fans that you particularly liked, Aaron?
I loved one in there. I don't have anything here with my Facebook notes up or whatever, but you might be able to find it. It's the one about the grand final ground announcer um, at the Broncos Storm game. I mean, we were sitting there and whatever. We got off to a really good start, and then the Broncos crowd was a bit quiet, and everything was a little bit somber for the Broncos fan. The energy was up, and whoever the crowd announcer was that they had, he was on his DJ set and he was giving the "Let's go Broncos, let's go," and he was giving it when Storm had the ball, like, and it was like, shut up, idiot! Like, this is supposed to be 50-50. You're paid to get out there and pump up the crowd, not just be so one-item biased. So that crowd announcer was a Broncos fan, and he pissed me off too, and it pissed me off even more in the second half when we started to go down. Like in the first half, I was like, mate, what are you doing, mate? Shut up. And in the second half, I was like, seriously, mate, shut up. I'm done.
I'm going to touch on I'm going to touch on a comment that was made under the post, but not in our group, and then I'll touch on a couple other things. But so Terry says commentators on Fox Sports. So this is about last year's grand. So this is about the last year's grand final team. On paper, yes, we were last year's grand final team, but have a look at how many of our players are missing. We're not the same team at all. Kronk has a hatred for the club that made him even when we win the bags us. Or when we win, he bags us. There's another comment. Cooper Cronk, did he play for Penrith? There's another comment. Cooper Cronk completely distancing himself from his time at Melbourne Storm when he commentates. I find it infuriating and completely disrespectful. And there's another one about Cooper Cronk.
You'd think that Cooper Cronk done something to piss the Storm fans off, wouldn't you? Like, I mean,
I
moving
think
to
it's very
Sydney,
clear he
obviously.
has.
Yeah, no, I think Tara Rushton has woke up a few Storm fans, and she's really got a few people offside. Look, Cooper Cronk's a commentator. He is paid to have an opinion. I think last night, losing by that much, Storm fans hear him praise the Panthers and they get shitty because they think, he should be biased or aligned towards the Storm. But, like, in reality, he's paid to commentate the game, and he's not talking shit last night. They flogged us. Like, if he's praising what the Panthers are doing good, so, like, I mean, it's a hard one. It's a hard one,
The
If it was
benefit
Billy
of
Slater,
this segment, the benefit of this segment, Aaron, is that you can have a grind my gear, and we're going to call it out. And when I see that there's a few different people that mention about it, I'm going to put it up there as grind the fans, our royalties, gears, and we get
yeah.
to do it. Now, I'm gonna put this one up, and Aaron, I want you to talk about this one. What the fuck are we persisting with these short dropouts? We just continue to keep handing the other team easy tries. It's weeks in a row. That was Daniel. I can tell you now, I have a wife that sits there next to me and in a game, and when I see that it's got to be a dropout, I get up and I walk away because I just know exactly what she's going to say. And I know my wife could get into these grind my gears around what the fuck is Sewer doing with these short dropouts. Aaron, we sort of analysed this a little bit last week in I think it was our review show around the reason why teams do it because there's no penalties and things, but oh my God! Why would you do it against Penrith when you're in the run like that? And we don't have the aerial threats.
They were 44 points down then too. Like 44
He
points
dropped out
down.
every week.
There's no, yeah, like I don't know what. You kick it long, you kick it short, whatever. They scored a try. I mean, the game's done and dusted. Like, that one there doesn't bother me because, like, who cares? The game was over. But I, you're right. We don't have X there at the moment. And usually when we're doing these short dropouts, we're kicking to Warbrick or we're kicking to X and we're putting ourselves, or even it was Katoa, and we're kicking to someone who we know is going to take a catch. This time we kicked it he kicked that one off and he kicked it to the side that STB's struggled under the high ball on Toto,
Every
maybe
time.
20 minutes before. And then we kick it out that side and we give him an opportunity for Jenks to just stroll through and catch it. Now, A, why isn't someone standing on the line where that ball's going to land? And B, why aren't we fucking trying to jump up and catch it? But it's not going to change. We're kicking short. So, yeah, it pisses people off, but it's not. It's going to continue to, I'm sure of it.
That's not the point of grind my gears, Aaron.
Yeah. No, I get it. I get it.
Don't
I
show
get it. I
common
get it.
sense. Don't show bloody don't discredit their gears that being grinded because they're going to keep doing it. Oh my God, I'm not having a go at you there, Aaron. Like
No,
literally,
I'm with
I
you.
get
I'm
it.
with you.
We're
I
not
get
going to
it
stop.
completely. Yeah.
We're not going to
Yeah.
stop.
It is
And the
what it is.
one thing that I keep telling my wife when I sit next to her is, every team does it, Jessica. Every team. It's you
Brace
just got to
yourself.
live with it.
It's
This is
coming.
the you just got to live with it. This is the game we live in 2026. Enjoy the dropout. And enjoy the one time in the 27 rounds that a team goes and gets the high ball off the short dropout and runs at runs 90 meters and and gets a try, and we'll all celebrate. That is why we do short dropouts, everybody, for that one time.
Absolutely.
uh,
Yeah. No.
all right, anything you want to add into that, Aaron? That was a fun segment. I'm so glad I've got a smile on my face.
No. I think that's good. I think that's good.
Guys, get around the boys. We need it. We need your positivity. Don't get around all these garbage groups that continue to keep bringing the negative play. And you go and like it, because there are people here that I know that are liking those comments and liking those pages and following those pages for the negative stupidity that they are doing. I would get off them. Get around us. Whilst we will call things out where we need to. I think we just did it for 55 minutes, and shows that we are, whilst we love the Storm, we are unbiased too, and we will call things out and we will say some things. Get away from that, because I know that that's in a few people's different grind my gears and parts where we're not getting around our team and supporting our team. We aren't. We are doing that. We are supporting our team. We are showing statistics. We are opening it up for everybody. We have that unbiased opinion, but we are not doing it around negativity. We'll do it around positivity as well. Continue to like, follow, subscribe. Do all that free stuff. We need it. We want it. We are thriving on it. We're going nowhere, aren't we, Aaron? This is episode 7 of 7 million. We'll make sure we get to 7 million too in our lifetime. We'll figure it out. We might have to start counting some little reels and bits and pieces, but we'll get there. We'll do it. We love yous. Keep following us. Get around that jersey giveaway. It's only going to be there for one more day. Give Con for the rest of this day. Give Con a call at Friend Finance for your mortgage broking. World is expensive at the moment, so go and help yourself by getting a good rate and a deal. Stay positive. It's only up from here. It can literally only go up from here. Let's go, boys.
One final note. I just had this text message sent to me, and I think it's a valid point. I'm not making excuses, but if Penrith lost Liam Martin for a year, Sorensen for injury, Dylan Edwards retired, Casey McLean got injured, Brian Toa was out for 10 weeks, how would they go for their first 4 weeks? Would they be a little bit down? Would they be trying to compensate or find how to play their game? So there's a bit going on at the Storm at the moment, and I know it doesn't excuse poor performances or lack of effort, but there is some kind of reason to the madness, basically. So hopefully we can steady the ship and get back on board. Next week's now a massive, massive game.
It's at home against the Waz. Get around it.
I'll be
Home
there.
Game. Go
I'll
and
be
do
there.
it. Get it. Go and chase down Aaron.
I'm actually we're going to have to throw that in there. I'm actually away next weekend as well, so I think we're going to get a little bit of a special guest on the potty. Is that the plan, or are we going to do it a little bit later?
There is a special guest, a guest that I would say is special in his own right, but no one would know who he is unless you follow all his comments, because he does like to get in the comments. He is a hard nut to crack. He loves the Storm. His name's James. He's a good friend of mine. He does the SC Spectrum Supercoach podcast and does a lot of the content in the background there with me in another group that I do for a lot of fun because I'm a massive Supercoach player. But he is in that if you want to get around that and follow him. But yes, he is going to do that review show next week for the Waz on Sunday morning. We've teed it up.
He might be coming for my job, so everyone get around, watch him, and see how he goes.
No one's replacing you, mate. I'm going nowhere, and I am not doing it with anyone else, my friend. You are the man. We might add someone though. That might be on the cards later when we're making millions, and we can get some special guests on, mate.
Sounds good. All right, everyone enjoy their Easter and forget about yesterday and focus on family and tomorrow. And yeah, we'll see you Tuesday night for TLT.
Love your royalty.
Let's go.